Okay. So, welcome to our interview with Medya News.
Thank you.
Our first question would be, can you introduce yourself? What is your name? Where are you from? What is your journalistic background?
Well, I'm Emma Audrey. I'm from France. I work in an independent non-profit media that is working on human rights exclusively. So this is called Radio Beep. It's a FM station, and Media 25 is the video channel of these same organizations. Now, this is one side. On the other side, I'm also very active in the Union of Journalists, the second largest union of journalists in France, called SNJ-CGT, and it's a union who fight for the freedom of journalists, security of their jobs, and also security in general. So that was the second hat I had when I went in this mission.
Okay, thank you a lot. So you just went onto a delegation to Sulaymaniyah in the Kurdistan region of Iraq. Can you tell us about the reasons why you joined this delegation?
Well, the first reason was the security of the journalists. Of course, when I heard about the terrorist act and the killing of those two journalists and the injury of a third one, very badly injury of the third one, it was a very disturbing, because not only I heard about this 1 month after, but I didn't have any info on any mainstream media about it in France. So, of course, Reporters Without Borders talked about, IFG talked about, several organizations talked about, but those were very short, text about the situation, like very quick. And I was quite frightened about this. How come two journalists are killed in a drone strike inside another country, and no one is talking about? So first reason was that, and second, I thought it's important to bring the voices of the families, the colleagues from Soleimani, from Chartres, from those media to France, so that we can share their pain, their also questions to the French public. It's important that everyone in France understand the situation there, understand how difficult it is for the Kurds, journalist Kurds, also for the Kurds to live there, being targeted all the time by the Turkish military.
Okay, and then when you went to Sulaymaniyah, you also went to the place where the journalists Gulîstan, Hêro, Bahadîn were killed by a Turkish drone strike. When you went to the site of the attack, what kind of observations did you make there?
Well, the first thing I saw, it was that they chose the spot to kill them. It was not a random spot to kill them. They chose the spot. It's a very empty spot. They didn't want any second casualties, so they waited for them to get out of the city in order to kill them. So that's the first observation, technical observation I managed to see. Another technical observation that I managed to see was that the drone strike, the missile of the drone strike left some residues that can link this strike to a missile from a drone. So it's the link. It's very easy to make for any for any particular expert in this kind of weaponry. They can see how the link can be. And I was even more appealed to see that elements from this attack, from this terrorist act, were still there. How come the police didn't took this? This is proof. This is proof, technical proof for prosecution. Why those proofs are still there, like 1 month after? And all these, so many questions. In fact, the more we were staying there, the more I had questions. We had questions. How come this is not, cleaned and put in a sealed and presented to the judge? And of course, elements of the missile were still around. Elements of the missile. I mean, this is unthinkable in any country. So, yeah, a lot of questions. I'm not saying they are not doing their job there, but it was a very important question. Why, at first, the driver was forced to say it was an accident? It was not an accident. So many questions. And second thing, those are this is normal because we are journalists, so we are looking into details and all this kind of. It's like we try to understand better. On the other side is the human thing, being there, seeing the catastrophe, the black spot on the floor, where two young women and journalists were killed in a second by a foreign nation. For me, it was very painful to see, very, very emotional, and also very emotional to see their colleagues, friends being there and crying because they felt the pain of this act. I don't have the words to say how much I hate this kind of act. And it was something that made me understand better the situation. It was very important to go on site to see and to understand and to talk to people because we have some testimonial. Some people who saw everything and came to us to talk to us. So I managed to film a little bit about what he said, and perhaps this will be also a proof, and perhaps we'll be able to testimony in front of a judge, international, court, in order to talk about this terrorist act.
Okay, thank you a lot. And then you also met lots of friends and colleagues of the killed journalists of Gulîstan and Hêro when you were visiting Suleimaniye. What story or what memory that they shared with you touched you the most?
The most powerful and painful and emotional was when we went to the family of one of the journalists, and the pain was very important, and I was very touched about everything, about their struggle to now they seek justice. Of course, it's very important to seek justice and to have justice on this case, and to understand that they are not alone. And I felt that was also that all the colleagues, all the people were very close to them. And when her mother took me in her arms, she didn't know me, but she took me in her arms and started to cry, and it was one of the most important moments for me when I wasn't there. And of course the colleagues who, when we went to chat production Medya, the sight of all the team crying, and there's a bigger family, and this family lost their 2 children, and this is what I felt when I went there. And it was very very difficult to see all this pain, but at the same time it's very important to see it, to understand it.
Yes, thank you. And then when you went to Suleimaniye, you also visited some different journalistic institutions, also some of the television studios that are there in Suleimaniye. When you went there, what did you see about the role that women have in journalism in Suleimaniye, in the Kurdistan region of Iraq?
I was very positively surprised about those meetings, and I felt like they are like light years before us in France or in Europe in general about the feminist issue and the way they implement this feminist issue in the society and in their workflow. When we went to chat the production TV, someone said to me, women here are managing this. This is managed by women. It was like they have a big role in the society. Not only they have a big role, but they are respected for what they are doing and for what they are as women. And this is, for me, it's like, let's learn something, let's bring this in France, and let's try and do this revolution of the mind here in France too, because to be there, you need, on the path of being there, You need to create, to make a revolution somewhere, of the mind of the society, of everyone. Not only of the men, but also of the women. It's something that it's already done. It's not like, they keep, of course, working on these issues, but it's like it's working, and it's working beautifully. And I was very impressed about how they manage on the feminist side. But on the other side, the work there, I felt like everyone is very have a role that is linked to their identity. When you talk to them as journalists, they're not saying, I am not just a journalist. I'm a journalist because I want to create this, to give the voice of this nation, of this identity. And this link and this powerful message was very, very impressive to see. I was quite impressed.
Yes, thank you a lot. Do you have anything else that you want to share? Any message that you want to give?
Well, yeah, I have a lot. I have a lot, but let's say first, I just wanted to thank everyone that I met in this mission, and everyone that we talked to were so welcoming, so open heart, and we have such a tremendous connection with everyone. It was so beautiful. On one side, it was very emotional because going there for this kind of thing, it's very difficult. But on the other side, I saw that they transformed this in a fight for justice, in a fight for a better society. The death of those journalists didn't mean the killing of the voices of those journalists. It meant amplifying their voices, amplifying their messages. And that's the thing that we need to understand. They need to understand, everyone. When they kill journalists, they don't kill only the human being. They try to kill the million of voices who are, reading and watching the news and the information, because this is our mission as journalists. But in this case, they didn't kill those voices. In this case, they amplified those voices. Now it's gonna be everywhere, international, Europe, everywhere. And this is my message to the criminals who did this. You can try to do this, of course, because it's easy for you to push on a button and to kill two people, two persons, two human beings who are just trying to exist, trying to push just the information for the people. They were taking the car to see something cultural. It's mind-blowing, mind-boggling. How can you kill someone who is going to film dances and chants and things of their identity, cultural identity? You kill this. It's for me. This is the message I want to send. In fact, in the end, that those criminals who killed those persons will have to pay, because this is the definition of a terrorist act, assassination. Whatever they think, you cannot just press on a button and make disappear two persons and the problem is solved. No. Now the next step will be to make them pay, and the next step will be to make everyone understand that this cannot be just some small event in the sea of events. No, it's not going to be this way. And that's what I feel now to say. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, thanks a lot for the interview.
Thank you.